like NASCAR? Do you like A Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like pit bulls, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast.
Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative. Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative. You're a little over Cardi B.
This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.
Can't hold me now, I'm trying to keep from staying low. No key is over, you can't reach what you don't know. I'm moving different, running circles round them folk. They say your failures teach you everything and more. Look.
Shouts out to OGI Triller on that joint, everything and more. Welcome to Top of the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. I'm your host, Addul Ali. You're checking us out on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Jump on over to YouTube. Give us a subscribe at our new channel, TUC Twins. See the website on your screen, tuconservative.com. Get yourself a membership. It's the way we keep things going around here. You can get yourself a t-shirt, a mug, or something like that to keep the flow going. Shouts out to my twin brother, Raheem, Architect Soto, behind the boards this morning. And if you don't know, you need to join us every Monday evening, 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast, each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Big ups to all of our friends and families and supporters. If you're watching today, get in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from so we can get you a shout out. Also want to give a big up to our friends over at Millennium News 24. You can also check out our content there on Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku TV, your Samsung Smart TV, and all those other apps. So appreciate the love. Well, folks, this is going to be an interesting show for y'all this morning because the other day we were covering a story about Auditor Beth Wood and her hit and run accident, which we still don't know whether she was under the influence. We still don't know what caused her to hit that vehicle. There was no breathalyzer done. She wasn't arrested. And we made the claim that, it would be a little bit of a different treatment if that was you or I or just some random citizen. And in doing this story, what we found out, shouts out to Phoenix, Arizona, Warren Dartridge watching from Phoenix. Shouts out to you. During this story, okay, good morning, Mary Helen Teller. Good morning to you. During this story, I found out that the NAACP of Rocky Mount, a young man was calling for the NAACP to step down. Now, because we're about transparency and because we do things the right way, my brothers pulled up the footage of exactly what I said the other day. Go ahead and roll that beautiful beam footage. Folks, if you live in North Carolina, you may or may not have heard about our state auditor getting involved in a hit accident, being charged with a misdemeanor, and all that other stuff, right? Here's the problem with this. What's going to happen? Does she get the slap on the wrist? Because I know if it was me or you or the average Joe that did a hit and run, I don't know if that's going to be a slap on the wrist. Okay, there's a lot of shenanigans going on with that. But one thing I think is interesting is to see the NAACP turning on their own. That's interesting to me. We got a story coming out of the Rocky Mount Telegram here. This is the Rocky Mount Telegram. So it appears the NAACP president here, Mr. Blackwell, a young man you can see there, Cooper Blackwell. He looks like one of those libtard dudes. The Rocky Mount branch. All right, so you heard it there. We were covering the thing. I said he looks like one of those libtard dudes. I did say that based on this picture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been around politics for a little while, you know that there's a look that these lefty guys have. There's a certain, I don't know, what's the right word I want to use here? There's a certain twinkle in the eye of some of these guys. There's a pretentious yet aloof doofiness that these guys have. And I noticed this aloof doofiness in the picture. And I said, he looks like, I don't know, he could be a libtard, but he looks like a libtard. That's what I said. Keep going, Rob. Keep going. Just because I want to button this up real nice. Of the NAACP is asking for State Auditor Beth Wood to resign. I don't think she cares. Amid the aftermath of news reports of her being charged with a misdemeanor hit and run, incited for unsafe movement, specifically Blackwell said Wood has made a practice of targeting small cities and towns in North Carolina, led by predominantly Black elected and appointed officials, with claims of abuse of power and lack of transparency. In fact, her claims of others are the mode of operation that she and her office typically employ. If this ain't the left eating their own, isn't this good? So now, here's what we got, folks. All I did was read the story that was on the screen. Did I make the comment that the young man looks like a libtard? I did. Because you're the chapter president of the NAACP. You're a registered Democrat. You just accused this lady of being a racist, which is interesting because that's appropriate for most Democrats. Well, here's where it gets fun. The story wasn't even about this young man. We wasn't even talking about you, to by and large talking about you. But then what we had to do is we had to go and look, because we got a message. This young man responded with a message to us on our Facebook post about the video. And what did he say? He actually said, and where's it at, Rod? Do you have it? Cooper Blackwell, I might do you a favor and give you an audience. The local white supremacists are having their group chats, and it's hilarious. Then I see your comedy show, and I love it. Very opinionated, not many facts, but I'd love to have a conversation with you and shed some light on what's happening. Cooper Blackwell responded with my phone number. Give me a shout, my brother said. So now, we reached out to young Mr. Cooper. My twin brother did, and invited him to come on this show this morning. Okay? We invited the young man to come on the show this morning because I wanted to hear exactly what Beth Wood did that was racist. Why he would say the white supremacists are having in their group chats, and it's hilarious. What I did was I found out that he was talking about this group called the Rocky Mount Concerned Citizens was the group he was talking about that's full of white supremacists that are having a field day. This is the group right here. Ralph, we can switch this over to the screen. I just want to show y'all this. Real quick. This is the group that he's saying is chock full of white supremacists. So what did I do? Went in there and I said, let me see where the white supremacists are. A man reporting a local story. Somebody shared our show this morning. Anybody know what's happening at West Ridge? I knew the moment about Beth Woods. I'm looking for the white supremacy in this group. I'm looking for it. If you can't keep your own house clean, NAACP loses its tax-exempt status. Waiting for AK, who we're going to talk about in a second, to play the race card. I'm looking for the white supremacists. Local NAACP, they posted your story. All right. Where's the white supremacy in this group? I couldn't find it. I can't find it. I looked through the whole group. They actually even shared your black senator in this so-called white supremacist group. That's the group he was talking about was full of white supremacists. Now, isn't it interesting? Isn't that left-leaning? Isn't that what the left does? Is they put people they don't know into buckets? right? They put these people into buckets and say, because you supported A or you supported B, you're a white supremacist. So what we had to do, okay, what we had to do is we had to go to this young man's, do a little digging, just do a little looking around, connect some dots. Turns out, of course you think Beth Wood is auditing you because you're racist, because your daddy's on the city council. Son of a Rocky Mount council member, look at this doofy high weed man look he got on his face. Straighten your glasses out, young man. Cooper Blackwell, not long after midnight, had less than a half an ounce. I like the way the press does that. He had less than a half an ounce, but he had more than a quarter. Less than a half an ounce when he was halted on Sunday Avenue, a police officer said in a citation filed at the Judicial Center. Right? So you got caught with some weed. It happens. The citation states that Blackwell at 12:22 a.m. was in a 2014 Mercury at or near the intersection of Westview Park Drive when the officer had reasonable suspicion to believe that Blackwell was unlawfully operating a motor vehicle. The officer cited Blackwell for the drug possession offense, which is considered a misdemeanor. Blackwell, at the 700 block of Starling Way, is due for an appearance at the Judicial Center. When reached by the Telegram on Wednesday afternoon, he said that case is under review right now and advised the reporter he might need to speak to Police Chief George Robinson. Blackwell gave a similar response when asked whether or not he wanted to comment about the citation and whether he was retained defense attorney. I know if I'm able to speak about what has been posted. I don't know. So here you got the press reaching out to say you want to be a community leader. You're somebody that you want, you have all over your page, all of this leftist junk talking about how racist people are. Mark Robinson got to go, this, that, and the third. But here you are getting arrested, getting cited for possession of weed. Not arrested, but cited for weed and called Chief Robinson, which is an interesting response because we reached out to the young man to have him come on this show this morning. We did. My brother reached out to him and said, hey, young man, we want you to come on the show and tell us how racist, right? Tell us how racist Beth Wood is. I really want to hear how racist Beth Wood is. And I've done some digging into how racist Beth Wood is. We're going to cover that. You might want to share. If you live in North Carolina, you ain't going to want to miss the rest of Top of the Morning. We're going to take a very quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere. Share the friend. We're going to dig deeper. We'll be right back.
TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. I'm your host, Addul Ali. I thought you was about to jump in and say something, Rob, but shouts out to my twin brother, Raheem, Architect Soto, behind the boards this morning. Today, we should have been talking with the NAACP leader out in Rocky Mount in their position on asking Beth Wood to step down as state auditor over her accident, his subsequent response, and what we've been able to uncover. Normally, we wouldn't go in on a show like this, but I think it's important, especially for people of color who live in these communities, to see exactly what their air finger quote leadership is doing. What you got, Ra? You jumped on screen. If your mic
pulls over? Who pulls over? Gets pulled over and says, "Let me call the sheriff, the chief." Why did he need to call the chief of police? Please finish going through that interview.
All right. So let's go back to that interview. You want to go back through that? Pull that back up. We'll pull that back up. Go ahead. How about this? I'll call Chief Robinson. I'll get back to you. Blackwell did not call back by press time, and police generally do not comment about cases pending before the judicial system. If you know anything about politics, if you've been watching any of this, that oozes of the leftist sense of entitlement, because my dad's on city council. You don't know who I am. I'm going to call the police chief and he going to straighten you out. That's exactly what that was. Exactly what that was. So how about this? I'll call the police chief. What's one of the interesting things, and I don't know if my brother's going to share the screenshots here. We reached out to the young man to have him come on the show. He said he would come on the show, give us an audience. He called us a little comedy show. No facts, just opinions. So let's deal with some facts, right? The facts that we're going to deal with this morning directly impact what's happening in towns like Rocky Mount, in places where a law had to be passed. Okay. During the public input phase, he talked about, hold on, among his remarks, Blackwell, he sees change generates fear among those who have been historically entitled to exclusive social benefits and business. Inequities and racial segregation. This is 2020, and this dude thinks racial segregation is still a thing. So you wonder why I said libtard. Well, are you liberal? First of all, the question becomes, are you a registered Democrat? And the answer we found out is absolutely yes, registered Democrat. Looking at the page, when we scroll through your page, all we see is liberal talking points, none of which make any sense. Like the statement saying racial segregation and taking aim at elected officials who are doing their job. So here's what you got. You got a town like Rocky Mount. You have minorities in leadership. You have people in positions of authority who are abusing their authority, who are misusing taxpayer funds. If I were to show you all what this is preposterous, what the city manager of Rocky Mount had to say about spending more money on food than she was allotted to use. First of all, why are you buying food? Why are the taxpayers of Rocky Mount on the hook to pay for your meals? Don't you get a salary from the city? Shouldn't that be enough? Now we got to give you more money on top of that. Yo, the person in Rocky Mount, okay, the city manager in Rocky Mount actually said, I'm not subject to any city council rules. They can't tell me because I've got an undisclosed medical condition. That's what the lady said. And when you look at her, y'all gonna look, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you, there's a look to these people. Okay, there's a look to these folks. This lady looks like one of those entitled civil rights age leftist Democrats who's in a position of authority over other people and feel like she don't got to answer to the rules. She actually got up there and said she don't have to follow the rules because of her medical condition. Okay, hold on. Rocky Mount city manager, medical condition. Y'all ain't gonna, and the thing is, this is not just about the people in Rocky Mount. It's not just about y'all. This is about what's happening across the state. This is what's happening to small towns that are majority minority towns across the state. You have these so-called black leaders taking over these towns, putting themselves into position of authority and just running roughshod over the people there. And a lot of I've been there. A lot of these people don't have a clue of what y'all doing at a county level. They don't have a clue. So bad that the Senate had to pass a bill. Thank God not thank God. For them, thank God that the bill wasn't retroactive so that they could get caught and in trouble for the stuff they had to pay. So maybe young Mr. Blackwell thinks Beth Wood is racist and going after her town because his dad's on the city council. His dad is part of that whole mix-up of people. Y'all are about to do business with a developer who ends up getting in trouble. Dale Falwell and Beth Wood start popping the hood on this stuff and see y'all are misusing money. Yo, Raf, you can find it. There's a story of the city manager telling the people, y'all, I ain't subject to the rules under some undisclosed medical condition. I can buy whatever I want. Steak dinners, shrimp and seafood crab boils on the taxpayer dime. I want to know how you spending more money than you are allotted to spend by law is a good thing and how that benefits the people. When I look at the numbers in Rocky Mount and I look at the school system and I see these kids can barely read. These kids 20% of the kids can read. But here you are worried about racism. It's so stupid. It is so dumb. The claim of racism that these people use on the left is so stupid. You're sitting as a sitting elected official. This place is so racist that you've been able to get elected. The country is so racist that y'all, which I don't understand how you're a sitting city official and you're on the board of directors for OIC. You have your hand in the pot at OIC, which, by the way, Cooper Blackwell works for. Isn't that interesting? So a group that gets city funding at the direction of city council people, right? The one city councilman went to admonish his other city council people because they didn't want to give OIC another $50,000. Where do they get their money if it's not from the government? Where does OIC get its funding from? Interesting. So let's ask this question. Was Beth Wood going after Rocky Mount because y'all are black? Or was she going after Rocky Mount because somebody decided it wasn't a good idea to pay their $47,000 in back electricity bills? Somebody had over 200 communications about utility bills. I've had the same Duke Energy for years. I ain't had to call Duke Energy, email Duke Energy 200 times. About what? So here we are with a young man who decides to come on our page, right? Did I call him a libtard? I did. Should I have not called him a libtard? Maybe not. Was it a little disrespectful? Was it a little jabby? Absolutely was. Sure was. And I meant what I said, because you believe in things. You would have me think that you represent black people and that you and the NAACP alone know what's good for black people. What about the crime in your city? What have y'all been doing about that? What about the failure of education in your city? What about that? What about the economics of your town? What companies are moving there? What growth are you responsible for? How have you stemmed the tide of minority crime or minority on minority crime in your district? I just read a story about a man that got robbed and shot in y'all town walking his dog at 3 a.m. Some people going, well, you shouldn't have been walking his dog. It's America. I could walk my dog whenever the heck I want to walk my dog. The man should be able to get up at 3 a.m. and walk his dog through his own neighborhood without getting shot. But y'all so worried about the police racism, y'all don't want to talk about the fact that it's ourselves doing it to ourselves. But we got time to worry about Beth Wood being a racist? Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Isn't it the Democrats on the left and the NAACP that says a white man can't possibly understand what I go through based on the color of his skin? Ain't that what y'all do on the left? I could swear that's what y'all do. But then we go and pull up this young man's page, right? We go pull up this young man's page, and what we find is just interesting. It's extremely interesting. The other side of this, when you pull up this man's page, and part of we said, you're a libtard, bro. You're a libtard because you make stupid claims, right? Here you go. Schools in Nash County have an average ranking of 1 out of 10, which is in the bottom 50% of North Carolina schools. Minority enrollment is at 72% of the student body, majority black, which is more than the North Carolina public school average of 54%. So you have more black people in those schools, which means you have more opportunities to show that what you're doing is working. You have more opportunity to show that the platform that the NAACP and the Democrat Party stand on actually is working to benefit the people in that community. And instead of doing that, you go after somebody. Now, I'm not backing Beth Wood's play here. What she did was wrong. I think the lady was leaving the party, got drunk, hit a car, didn't want to stick around because they knew she was drunk. That's what I think. I don't have any evidence to that other than the fact that she left the scene. But that's what our hood spider senses be tingling when stuff like this happens, right? Your redneck spider senses, if you're, whatever the term for white people hood spider senses is, they should be going off when you hear stuff like that. But then when you got to look at this, you turn around and you say, well, wait a minute, hold on. Let's ask ourselves a question.
Hang on.
Let's go.
Nash County, North Carolina public schools have an average math proficiency score of 23% versus the North Carolina's public school average of 42%. So you guys are almost half. A reading proficiency score of 32%. So what in the NAACP are you doing, young man? Your timeline reads like a social feed, like it's like Grindr Light over there. And then you have the audacity with failing schools, failing black children to assign white supremacy to everything. It's libtard at the highest level of libtarding. And there's one other word we have for young men like that. It's called cooning and buffooning. When you out here and everything is racist and the white man and you teaching this to people.
Cooning and buffooning. So check this out, Rob. One of the other interesting things about this, and I got to share this with y'all, is the councilman who is at the midst of all of this stuff, and this is back in June of 2022, because we're not going to leave him, right? This is back in June of 2022. Check this out. This councilman, look what he says, bro. Look at how ridiculous. Hold on, let me put that big screen. There you go. So this councilman decries the vote against OIC funds. City Councilman Andre Knight irked after council members voted 3-2 against an amendment to the fiscal year 2023 budget to include a $50,000 appropriation to OIC, the Youth Connect internship. Listen to what he says. Council members should be ashamed, and I'm going to say it because we talk about young people dying in the street, young people dropping out of school, young people who don't have a place to go, Knight said Monday during the council meeting. Knight told of himself having had a summer job as a result of the OIC, and particularly spoke of when he was a high school student, harassing a cemetery and picking up dead animals. He also said that it is a myth in Rocky Mount that the municipality supplements the OIC and that the only thing the OIC gets from the municipality is $50,000 to develop youths. You can't have it both ways. Either you're giving them the money or you ain't. He ended his remarks and said, "Shame on you, and drink your tea on the 4th of July. God bless you," which is the way these libtard dudes, and I'm saying it, I'm going to say it right now. Every dude that I've seen that has that look right there, that look, hold on, where's it at? That look right there, all of those dudes right there are libtards. Every one of them that got that beady eye look like that got their hands in the cookie jar.
A large majority of them be doing, yo, listen, no disrespect. Shouts out to all of our fraternal brothers and stuff like that. Shouts out to all of y'all. No disrespect to y'all as a corpus. But it's something about some of y'all, the brothers like this that get into these positions, Ali, and that look you talking about. It's something about that look that every time is underhandedness. And obviously you can't judge a book by the cover, but it's pretty good to judge a book by the title.
Well, here's the other side of that. Since you want to go down that route, check this out. This is nature of what we're talking about right here. So you see this, guys? If you're watching right now, I want you to understand what we're about to show you here. This is exactly the problem, why our communities are in the condition they're in. Listen to what this city council member has to say. Listen to this.
The North Carolina State Auditor involved in a public feud with a Rocky Mount City councilman on a call-in TV show. Councilman Andre Knight claims the auditor lied in a report accusing him of owing thousands of dollars in deferred utility bills. WR's Keenan Willard shows us how Auditor Beth Wood is standing by her investigation.
It's a lie.
Right.
Everything she put in that report was not true.
For over a year, the Rocky Mount community has been divided.
Hold on, y'all. We had a little technical glitch here. Hold on. We got, because what you got here is you got a guy. I'm trying to find out where this is playing at, bro. I don't know where it's playing from. Let me close that one. I don't see where it's playing, but it's playing in the background. Hold on. Here you go. Listen to this. Yeah, I don't know where it went, but check this out. The dude said, yo, because the auditor was saying all of the reports that came out were basically the proof is right there in Rocky Mount. All the things are right there. We had a little bit of a technical glitch, so y'all deal with me real quick. Hold on. Rocky Mount Council NC. I found that video again. Hold on. There's that. Where did that video go? Because I want y'all to see this. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen this, it is amazing. Rocky Mount Council member. We had a little technical glitch. So local and state author. Here we go. I found it now. Here we go. So y'all can see this right now. Here we go, live on your team. So here we go, pow.
Claims the auditor lied in a report accusing him of owing thousands of dollars in deferred utility bills. WR's Keenan Willard shows us how Auditor Beth Wood is standing by her investigation.
It's a lie.
Right.
Everything she put in that report was not true.
For over a year, the Rocky Mount community has been divided over the results of an investigation by the state auditor. Among other things, a report says City Councilman Andre Knight avoided paying more than $47,000 in utility bills over nearly 15 years. On Monday, Knight called into a Rocky Mount talk show to attack the audit, claiming it didn't provide proof of any findings and also appearing to imply that the auditor could be racially biased against him.
Look how many people are being incarcerated on lies of that DA's toll on people, especially people of color, and they had to serve 20 and 30 years. I'm asking her to prove what she put in her report.
On Wednesday morning, State Auditor Beth Wood did just that, going on the same talk show to stand by her report.
This whole thing about it can't be, they don't have the proof, is irrational.
Right.
Because the proof exists and it's sitting at the city of Rocky Mount.
Wood says she and her team have copies of emails from 2 previous city managers telling the city's business office not to pursue payment from Knight, and that there were 234 notes about utility bill payment issues on Knight's account.
Come on, y'all. Seriously? Seriously? We're going to call her racist because she found out what y'all was doing, sticking your hand in the cookie jar? You're gonna call us a comedy show and try to be passive aggressive? That's what they do. You saying because district attorneys, air finger quote, have lied about people. Now Beth Wood is lying. What does one thing have to do with the other? I hope the people in Rocky Mount share this show with the folks, the voters in that town, because these people, just because they're skin folk, don't make them kinfolk. Just because they come to your churches, they hoot and they holler, they coon and they dance around for you, and they tell you they love the Lord and they love this and they trying to help youth and they trying to do this and that and the third in their city. What you need to be asking for is the results. You need to be holding them accountable to the results. What you got, bro?
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm going to lay this out there as well.
Okay.
I suggest you guys that are following, that are sharing Mr. Cooper, Mr. Rubin's information, right? I think it's always telling not just who somebody is, but who's following them. You guys should go over to his page and y'all should start clicking on some of the young men that's following this young man. I think I'm not going to say nothing else, but I think you should take 2 minutes of your time, go over to his Here. This is what we're going to do.
While you do that, what I want to tell folks is this, and something we got to look at. This is highly important. If the people who are telling you they have the best interest of your community in mind are not practicing what they preach, if they not raising families, if they not staying out of jail, if they not staying out of trouble with the police, why would you listen to them? And then I guess we're going to hear, the police is racist. Now all the police in Rocky Mount are racist. Wasn't it a black cop that got caught in Rocky Mount selling cocaine? So much for the racist cops. Yeah, Rob, look at this. Like my brother said, you got to be careful. You start following people. Look at that. Look at this dude. Who's following this dude? That's super sussy. Super suspect. Come on, bro. Really, bro? That's what we doing? So you think you have an audience, right? You think because you got all of these followers somehow that you have an audience? Look at the suspectory. It's a lot of suspectory. Yo, and then here's the thing, Rob, we don't even got to keep doing that. Here's the interesting thing. Yeah. Here's the interesting thing about this, because we're on the tail end of this morning show. I didn't want to make this all about the young man. It ain't about the young man proper. It's about the concept that you or the NAACP somehow represents all Black people, that y'all are somehow the voice of Black Americans, that you somehow represent every Black person in your community. When in reality is, if people really knew what you stood for, they wouldn't support you. It's absolutely disgusting to see what the NAACP has become. An organization that I think had at the beginning a very firm grasp on what needed to be done. There's some comments, there's some arguments that could be made either way, but to see how low they've fallen, to see that the elected officials in Rocky Mount would stoop to the level of claiming racism when they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, That to see that this young man has been brought up to think that he is disadvantaged somehow, that he is oppressed somehow, that somehow he don't got it good. Your daddy is on city council, man. You ain't oppressed. There's no oppression happening, right? There's no secret cabal to destroy you. And for calling all of those people in that Rocky Mount Concerned Citizens group racist, you don't know those people. You don't know not a one of them. I know personally people in the Edgecombe County GOP. I've done several events out there in Rocky Mount and Edgecombe. None of them are racist. Not one Republican that I know, and I know a lot of them personally out there, are not racist. So for him to make that claim tells me, number one, you're just parroting things you heard somebody say, Don Lemon type dudes, and you don't know what you're talking about. So no, Beth Wood probably ain't gonna step down at the behest of the Rocky Mount NAACP. I called it how I saw it on the show, which was y'all was looking for some press. Well, you got some now. You got a little shine now. If you wanted some shine, you got it. And the fact of the matter is you display the behaviors of exactly what I described based on a glance. You display the libtarded behavior. You display the libtarded results for that Rocky Mount community. You display through your elected officials there, y'all display the very problem that people have with government today, especially local government. And for you folks, this ain't about skin color. This is about Republican, Democrat, right, left. For you folks that live there in Rocky Mount, y'all got to start voting better. You have to start holding people accountable with your votes. What you got, bro?
Listen. The other part, Ali, I had to mention this. I know I'm kind of jumping in and out on the morning show.
Sure. It's down. We top of the morning. It happens.
But the idea that this young man and young men like him are so misinformed and so uneducated to objective reality that they will look at something like a report, like a documented phone call, like a documented series of emails, and misdirect the Black community of those areas and blame everything on racism. It is sad that they keep this emotional turmoil alive and well in the Black community. So those in Rocky Mountain that hear this, you guys need to bring us out there. We need to be doing more to talk to the communities out there, because there's a how do you say it, Ali? Like a cultural reference. There needs to be a way that things are said. There needs to be a tone that things are said in. And I don't know if there's an equivalent to this in the quote unquote white community, but in the quote unquote finger quote Black community, we used to have uncles. We used to have elders in the community that were uncle figures that would smack you in the back of your head when you was doing something stupid. These might not have been the most educated guys. These might even been some street dudes. But they had enough sense to know that the youth were to be protected, that the young men and women of the community were to be protected. And what it seems to me like is that the NAACP is handpicking a certain look, a certain tone of voice, a certain type of young Black man that doesn't have that didn't have that doesn't come from, it doesn't appear to be any struggle whatsoever or any hard workingness whatsoever, because where are the reading programs for OIC? It's CNA programs, it's this and that, but the kids can't read, and the kids been not being able to read. And y'all been getting money from these grants in the government, and y'all been in the community. So why can't the kids read is the question at the feet of these groups.
But y'all got $200,000, right, to give your last city manager. Small Tony was embroiled in controversy during her tenure as Rocky Mount city manager. A 2018 investigation by Auditor Beth Wood found that Small Tony improperly spent $1,575 in taxpayer money. Hold on, bro.
Isn't that her job though?
No. That ain't her job. This ain't her job. Look at this right here. You're saying Beth Wood? That's her job as the auditor. That's her job.
You're misspending the money.
To find out that you're misspending the money is all of her job. So look at this. Hold on. Look at this lady. Rocky Manor will retire. The term has come to end. Small served on the city manager. They reached out for an explanation of her decision to retire. She's embroiled in controversy A 2018 investigation by Auditor Beth Wood found that she improperly spent $1,500 in taxpayer dollars above her authorized meal allotment, including on steak and lobster dinners. A spokesperson for the city told WRAL that the majority of that money was used to buy meals for the city council and staff at 2 conferences, and the remainder of $158 was repaid to the city by Smalls Tony. Come on now. Wait a minute. Then you got this lady. She said she repaid it, but she still resigned. She's still out of there. But y'all, the people in your community who need food, they're not eating off the taxpayer dime. This is ridiculous. This is
we get crap. Listen. To call us a comedy show, well, I had a joke. I didn't lay it out there because we're Ali. Don't get mad. It's kind of comedy. We look at these things. We insert jokes, right?
Insert joke where appropriate.
At least the writer of it didn't say she sprung for chicken. He could have. This is how racist the world is. He probably wanted to write she sprung for chicken and watermelon.
And Kool-Aid. and Kool-Aid. Yo, when was the last time you actually drunk Kool-Aid? Sidebar.
I looked at it. I was like, do I buy this red, yellow dye number colon cancer? Do I buy colon cancer now? Do I do that? No, I don't think I'm gonna buy that. But I did look at it to buy it. I did, but I haven't had it in years.
Well, look, folks, we wanted young Mr. Cooper to come on this show. We wanted him to come on here and explain
you
to
didn't
us.
Come on the show, Coop. Yo, Coop, you didn't come on the show. I got the text messages of our text feed, which you agree.
No. Before we go back, because what did the last text message say? What did he tell you he was going to do?
Oh, hold on.
Man said, "I'm gonna call the police."
It's Coop. This is the text feed. After the message that he showed y'all on the screen, right? He showed y'all a message on the screen. It said he said I said reach out. That was me on the message that we showed that said reach out. He text messaged me. It's Coop. Damn, bro, you had to call me a left-hard.
Yes.
When is your next show?
Thursday morning.
I said, what up, Coop? This is Raheem. I handle scheduling. Tomorrow's the next show, 8:05 a.m. What time can we get you and Ali on a call today? Thanks. Because my thought was, hey, let's have a pre-show call. So at least, like men, we without the fanfare of an audience, we can talk like young men. Like, hey, yeah, this is why I said this. Let's kind of gauge it. We can go to the show, right? So then he said, I should be able to get on the call in the morning, but I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'm saying red flags.
You didn't see my eyebrow shift change. Ooh,
I'll do my best. My availability is trash, and I'm available this evening around 7. Is the call recorded for the show, or is the show live? I said, we can possibly do something this evening. I can update you via text. I said, can I update you via text? ? Yes, he says. Copy will do. Thanks for reaching out. He said, looking forward to it. I said, we can do a pre-record. He said, oh, nah, LOL. I said, if live and the AM isn't good. He said, live is always better. I said, well, we don't edit for the record. If we pre-record, we use what is recorded with no cut. But I agree, live is always better. Right. We can do something later in the week as well. He said, Thursday morning might work best. I said, copy. We'll respond shortly to confirm. Thursday AM is good for me. Sending me any specific questions in advance. I think I have a general idea of what the conversation is. So I text him. I said, okay, cool. Get back shortly. Then I text him back and said, we're all good for 8 a.m. in the morning. We will send the link out tonight. I sent the link. I said, if possible, be a few minutes early so we can make sure. And I meant to say sound, but it says to make sure send and audio are all good. But obviously I meant to say sound. Please feel free to give me a call. No response. It says red. Good morning, 7:51 a.m. Sir, we are on standby. Are you coming on? ? We're starting in 5. No response.
Didn't he say something about calling the police, Chief?
What?
I thought you said in the message earlier, he was like, I can reach out.
No, Ali. That was the article, bro.
I know. So we were talking earlier. Okay, I got you. I was confused. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, for the record, we did reach out. My brother did make every attempt to get the young man on to speak his side. I'm just saying, and as we close this out, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're dealing
Y'all
with.
get in the comment section and let us know, do we reopen the opportunity with not responding to the messages?
I'm on the.
Do we reoffer the opportunity for him to come on? Get in the comment section, type the number 1 if you think we should offer him the opportunity to come back on. Type the number 2 if you think we do not offer him the opportunity to come back on. So can y'all do that for us? I see a group of y'all watching. Can y'all please push the number 1 if you think we should offer him the opportunity to come back on the platform? And then push the number 2 if you think we should not offer him the opportunity.
1,
to come
let him back.
on the
2,
platform.
don't let him back. 1, let him come back on. 2, do not let him come back. So we got a couple of ones. People wanted to reach out to him again.
There's a
okay.
Few, a few more y'all watching. Don't worry. Nobody can see that you hit the 1.
Yeah, that's good. I guess people like a train crash, bro. It's like an accident. You can't look away from it.
Hey, bro, listen, type the number 1. All right, it's
okay. We went
there.
So look, it's looking kind of like here. Y'all want us to extend, so you got to text him back, bro. You got to send him the text message back. Let him come on.
I texted him. Listen. He came on our Facebook page and made a comment. Right? You had the cojones to come on the thing and
huevos
rancheros. Okay, yo. She said all Nash people say 1. She wrapped it up for all Nash people. So the whole Nash County wants you to come back on.
Brother. Gosh.
All right. Look. I'm going to say this real quick before. I know you're trying to get off, Ali. I know you got to go.
Sure.
Look at the video avatar that's on your screen for me. The picture avatar that's on the screen for me, right? That picture of me and you, Ali, is us in front of LaSalle School for Boys. That's us with no idea at this point who or where our life would go, because we didn't know where our mother was. We were taken from our father. So it was literally me and him. That's all we had. This pursuit to understand how this world works, how politics works, how we can become better versions of ourselves. We want that for young men like our sons, right? We want that for them. So when I look at that picture and I think about it and I see all these people saying, bring him back on there, right? This is the accountability that we be talking about, bro. You make public statements, you become a public figure. The reason Ali called you and I wanted to say this to him personally, was that the reason my brother called you a libtard or said you look, he didn't say you are one. He said you look like one of them libtard dudes, to quote him correctly. The accountability part to this is that if we don't call it out, no one will. If you don't get on the phone with these people and say, hey, that's effing stupid what you're talking about, and it's misinformed. So we wanted to set up a phone call with you, and I feel like this was needed to be said, Ali. We set up a phone call with you, young brother, that you got the phone number. I know you're going to watch this. If you weren't one of the people watching it, scared to death to come on here, or somebody told you not to come on once you found out who we were. That's the more likely reason he didn't come on. Somebody said, don't you go fooling with Ali. Don't you go fooling with Ali. Y'all, they went and schemed, viewed through the page and said, oh, no. Don't go mess with those two guys. But my point being, Ali, is that this is what needs to happen. So top of the morning.
So look, real quick before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we will make every effort to reach out to the brother again. We hope you will give us a like, a share, subscribe, follow the page. Of course, jump over to tuconservative.com, get yourself a membership.
Just text them. When can you come back on? Sorry, I just sent them a text.
Great text.
This is a matter of public record.
All right. So.
Ali.
Yes, sir.
I lost my thought for a second.
Sure.
The ego of these young people to put public figure underneath their accounts
is weird.
Think that out. I just wanted the reason I said that, the reason we threw that out there is because once you call yourself a public figure or a celebrity, you allow for the scrutiny. Is the point that I wanted to make to people. We say things in jest, but we're not going after the average person on Facebook. You are in an article. You have made a public statement. So you've allowed us to
represent people. You purport to represent them.
So let's lay that out there, why we called you a libtard, for everyone to articulately understand it, because you're a self-appointed public figure, and it's what happens when you get in the public. All right, I'm out.
All right. So look, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being. I know we ran almost double time, so y'all got double the dose of top of the morning this morning. As always, we really need your support. Jump on over to tuconservative.com. Get yourself a membership, folks. That Hamilton plan's only $10. That helps us keep continuing to spread conservative principles, ideas, and the benefits of conservative policies to minority and urban communities across North Carolina. I am Addul Ali for my twin brother Raheem, Architect Soto. We hope you all have a fantastic day. We will see you live back here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for top of the morning. And again, Monday nights, 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast. Have a great day. We'll see you folks soon. And give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. We'll holla.
This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.